right decisions to position the country where it's supposed to head. And it is those strong but very difficult decisions that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has taken over the years, that we needed to correct our foundation. Because if your foundation is not right, you will continue to always go down. Nana is talking about shrinking growth. If you look at the growth in this country and you compare to growth around the world, Ghana is one of the countries that will be put in the first category of growth. Because growth around the world has shrunk so badly, so low, because of the global economic situation. But Ghana continues to register very positive figures. Nana Akomea knows that under them, agri grew negative, minus 1.7. Agri was growing negative.
But when they were leaving office, it had gone up.
So if it is possible to grow negative in 2007, and by 2008 it can pick up, why then are you worried that you record a positive low figure in 2015 and you think that in 2016 it cannot rebound? If you grew negative and you could rebound the next year as a result of energy crisis, and then, or as a result of the drought that you claim, and today we have experienced even the worst form of drought, that Akosombo has recorded the lowest levels ever, meaning the areas that feed water into Akosombo have not received enough rainfall, and these are the crop growing areas, meaning the same situation that happened in 2007, a worse form has happened. But even then, you are still recording a positive, quite a higher figure, positive higher figure, not negative. And you think that that person has not done well. You who could not manage and recorded a negative figure did better than that person. It is only in Nana Akomea's analysis that you see negative is better than positive. But I do know that looking at the solid foundation that have been laid on all fronts, whether it is road infrastructure that aids agricultural growth, whether it is direct investment in agriculture, whether it is energy, whether it is healthcare delivery that also aid agricultural growth and industrialization, whether it is education, you can clearly see that President Mahama has been taking the right decision. And the young people who are concerned about employment will know that it is not just about talking, but it is about doing what must be done. Look at Trump that he used as an example. Listen to Trump on the campaign trail, and listen to Trump when he was declared the winner. Completely different. He has almost now shifted to the very issues Hillary Clinton was talking about now. He's moved from, he's actually gone to delete his own statement that he was going to throw out Muslims. He's deleting all those things, meaning that people can sit and talk anyway, anyhow, in the course of the campaign because they feel that that is what voters want to hear. Meanwhile, they know too well what they are suggesting cannot work, will not work without the right foundation as it's been done. And that you need to take your time to be able to get it. And we know that we are taking the right decisions.
Will Nana be wrong to also say that perhaps they built the foundation for you, but you collapsed it? Because in going back to a Greek, their claim is that they left at 7.4, okay, and you brought it down and you are now recovering. So they gave you a foundation, you failed to build on it.
Thank you very much. What is the foundation for agri? What did they do?
7.4, they expected you
what I'm saying
to
is
take
that
it up.
What did they do? If you continue to depend heavily on rain-fed, no industrialization in agriculture sector, you've done nothing to work on, whether it is cocoa, whether it is crops. Today, as we speak, we have actually reduced increased the amount of locally produced rice and other cereals. We have increased tubers that are locally produced. We have actually increased the production of cocoa. It's gone up, and we've done much more investment in that sector with improved cocoa seedlings, with free fertilizer schemes, and so on and so forth, and even encouraging chiefs to make available huge parcels of land that the Cocoa Board, in partnership with the chiefs and others, will establish for young persons who want to go into cocoa farming to manage, harvest, and then there's a sharing what.
But you missed a target for cocoa production.
You mix because if you need to plant before you can harvest.
So it takes time.
If it takes time, if you have aged cocoa plant trees that are not producing enough, and then you cut them off to plant new ones, for the period you have cut them off, they will not be fruiting. But then after some time, the fruition will start again and you will be able to hit your target. And also don't forget that in the past, the cocoa seedlings were being taken from private nurseries. Some of these private nurseries don't take their time to nurse cocoa seedlings that will fruit. Some of them are not fertile. So you just go and buy cocoa seedling, all right, but it's a sterile cocoa seedling. It will grow, but it will not fruit. So you plant a cocoa seedling, it will grow and become a tree, but there are no fruits. Now government have decided to increase the nursery size from just about 82 to 385. So there are more nursery sites, scientific seedlings, improved seedlings available to cocoa farmer, that every seedling that you plant, you are sure that it is going to fruit because it's come from the right source. So in future, you can easily predict that this acreage of cocoa is going to give you this amount of yield, as against what is happening now, where you cannot predict. So if they say they lay foundation, where is the foundation? Is it roots? Is it education? Is it health? Is it what? Where is the foundation?
Finally, why is it that government is only spraying the cocoa farms of NDC supporters and also giving fertilizers to NDC supporters as claimed by the NPP?
Dana, this is the government that have taken itself or political persons off the management of inputs for farmers. And President Mahama is taking it to the next higher level in the establishment of farmer service centers across the country. He's taking it. You know the people who form the task force that distribute these products? It used to be district chief executive's responsibility. Now government says, no, let's take the district chief executive off. Let the farmers select a woman's rep, a woman who is a farmer. Let them select a man who is a farmer. Let the chief farmer in the district, the police chief in the district, the NADMO boss in the district, because it's to do with distributing things, and therefore they are good at such things. The NADMO boss, the BNI rep, then the district cocoa officer. These are the persons who sit and plan how to distribute this material. There is no political activist involved in there.
The NADMO boss is not a direct appointee of government?
He's an appointee of government. That doesn't make him a partisan person. He's an appointee of government. The police chief is a police chief, may sympathize with one party or the other. The district cocoa officer is as an appointee of government, may sympathize with, but the fact is that you are not put there to go and do a bidding of a political party. And the farmers, the chief farmer officer is not selected by government or political party. The farmer reps is selected by the farmers themselves. They select them through consultative process. So this government has taken itself off. And truly, one of the major difficulties I have had is from my party people who tell me that in the past, it used to be that the party system controls sectors. And that as they speak, even though their party is in power, they are still denying some of these. They expect to get more quantities than they are getting, or how their colleagues used to get in the past, but that is not happening, and they feel that, why are we being so fair? And I'm saying we have a country to grow. The cocoa from the, whether MPP farmer or PNC farmer or CPP farmer, also adds up to the GDP of this country, and we must not discriminate in those decisions, and we have stuck to that, and that is helping us move on. But for politics, people will be making the kind of noise that they are making just so to paint a government black, but that is not what is happening on the ground.
Kofi, I'm grateful. Nana?
Well, right. I think that the first thing, you're already, amused at what Kofi says, so you are laughing.
Oh, no, I'm excited. I mean, if fertilizers are farmers are getting the fertilizer and now they control it, I'm excited about it.
But you see, the first thing that you must know, and every Ghanaian must know, is that the NDC They don't speak the truth.
They'll tell you, say.
No, I'll show you why they don't speak the truth.
Okay.
And that, they engage in propaganda. In fact, until recently, they had a propaganda on the national, somebody in charge of propaganda. So they haven't even, they haven't hidden
propaganda unit.
Kofi, Kofi, please,
I pretended I was in
I've told him.
No, but the propaganda unit is not a lying unit.
I've told him.
Now,
please go on.
They actually had a propaganda directorate, in the party. So these people don't speak the truth. That's the first thing that Ghanaians must bear in mind when they are listening to the NDC. He's talking about they've laid a foundation. When President Mahama became president in 2012, he thanked Rawlings, Kufuor, and Mills for laying a good foundation for him to take off. 2012. In fact, at the end of 2012, the information minister at that time said that the foundation had been laid. They had actually taken off. They had taken off. And they were now going to cruise. 2012. At the end of 2016, they are still telling Ghanaians about the foundation. What foundation is that? You said the foundation had been laid in 2012 and that you are already taking off and you are about to cruise. And then in 2016, so the plane has come down to the ground and you are now going to now take off again. Does it make sense? And every year, President Mahama, in the State of the Nation address, will tell us it's going to be a turnaround, it's going to be the best year, it's going, every kind of assurance, and yet things get worse. Check it from 2012. 2012 was better than 2013. 2013 was better than 2014. 2014 was better than 2015 in all the indices. So it cannot be true what these people tell Ghanaians every day. And look at what Kofi Adams is talking about today, that they've laid a... When you say you're going to lay a foundation and improve, what it means is that you've came and met something, you are building upon it, isn't it? But things have gotten worse. So when there's a structure, and then you come and say you're going to build on, and then things get worse, what have you done? You are that destroying the foundation. And indeed, things have gotten worse. You talk about cocoa. When John Mahama came, cocoa production in this country was 1 million tons in 2010, 2011. This year, sorry, the last cocoa season, it was 750,000. So we've lost 250,000 tons since 2012. You came and met a foundation of 1 million tons. You've reduced it to 750. So are you laying a foundation or you are destroying the foundation?
It talks about what has been done and expected to yield the results.
Right.
You
say you are laying a foundation. Look, as you are doing this program, maybe you have 1 million people who listen to you. A new person comes. He says, Bright has laid a foundation. I'm going to build on it. So what would you expect?
More.
Now when it's less, then what is happening? Tell me. If you are getting 1 million listeners for TV3, and Kofi Adams comes to sit in your seat and says, Bright has laid a foundation, I'm going to improve upon it. And then from 1 million, you go to 750,000 tons for TV3. What would TV3 say? So you came and met cocoa and it's deteriorated. So what? You are destroying the foundation. He talked about rice. They've increased rice production. It is not true.
Local rice production.
It is not true.
Sure.
Look, when these people came, we were importing 425,000 tons of rice in 2008. Today we are importing 630,000 tons of rice.
See, that is where he gets it.
Okay?
You don't look
now,
at the
please, you just write it down.
You don't
now,
look at levels of
you talk about
the quantities of.
You talk about agri growth rate, and you are pointing him out. He wouldn't listen. You came and met 7.4%. Okay? And then you say you are going to build and take off. So why have you brought us to 2.3? And you came and met 7.4% growth in agriculture in 2008.
He agrees there was a ditch, but he also says some work has been done and you can see the growth peaking. In fact, the last time the president spoke at the Farmers' Day, he spoke about a figure of 3 point something.
My brother, You came and met 7.4, isn't it? And you say that you've now built upon it. Now, when it's 7.4 and you've brought it to 2.4 last year, how have you built upon it? Build upon it means adding, isn't it? You came and met 7.4, you've now brought it to 2.4 in agriculture as we speak. So where's the foundation that you've laid? Look, since John Mahama came, 2013 agriculture grew by 5.7. 2013, John Mahama was the president. 2014, it dropped to 4.6. 2015, it dropped to 2.4. So the more you tell us you are laying foundation, the more the thing gets destroyed.
What about the challenges that caused the drop?
Now,
drought, look, and all that.
What drought? Are we in a drought in Ghana? There's flooding in Accra. Are we in a drought? And these people come and lie to us without any looking behind their shoulder. Are we in a drought in this country? Are we in a drought in this country? What is happening is that the rivers are being destroyed by Galamsey. But we are not in a drought. And last year, was it this year?
So that could affect agriculture.
The coast. Didn't we have flooding? So how does somebody come and tell us we are in a drought when we are dying from floods at Carnation markets?
Really an interesting
now,
person.
You talk about food. They'll tell you agriculture is declining. The import figures even show. Look, in 2008, we imported $600 million worth of food into this country. Last year, we imported $2.1 billion worth of food. And they include rice, sugar, poultry, fish, wheat, vegetable, salt, and vegetable. Go and get information from them. So, where is the improvement? Where is it? Fish production is going down. In 2013, fish production grew by 5.7. In 2013, when they said also election petition, so they couldn't function. Fish production went up by 5.7. 2014, it dipped to minus 5.6. Last year, it grew by 1.9. So when you lay the foundation, and what you came to meet, you are not building, is going down, then you say you are laying foundation. I don't understand it. Unless maybe somebody at the NDC, getting worse means getting better. I don't understand. Take all the other instances. Take interest rates. You came and met 22% interest rate in 2011. Today, interest rates are 35%. You've destroyed it. Take a debt to GDP. You came and met debt to GDP at 36%. Today, it is 71%. We've gone to epic levels. Our debt to GDP alone. Last year, they went and bought another 100 million from the Canadian market. Take the size of the economy. When John Mahama came, the size of the economy was $47 billion. Today, it is 40.
I see.
The economy is shrinking. So you tell us you are laying foundation, and the thing is getting destroyed, and you still tell us you are telling the man is getting worse. The man is sick. He's getting worse, and you are telling him how you are getting better. But the man he's getting sick. He's getting smaller. He's getting thinner.
Okay.
These people will not look. When he talks about my conclusion.
Wrap up.
Now he says some international matter. Slow down international economy. What slow down international economy?
There's a global economic...
It's a lie.
Okay, all right.
Go to Cote d'Ivoire. It's just next door. Unless the globalization flew over Cote d'Ivoire and landed in Ghana. The same land, the same geography. They are producing 1.8 million tons of cocoa. They are only 14 million. We are 25 million. They are producing 1.8. We are producing 750. They have a growth rate last year of 9%. We had a growth rate last year of 3.9%. They are not affected by globalization. Look, inflation in Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay, fine.
No, I could. But my last point. Look at these people. Business want to grow, they cannot grow. Doomsaw's had the record 5 years of Doomsaw. But aside from that, government is borrowing 80% of bank credit today. So in which economy can you get credit to do business and employ when government is borrowing 80% of bank credit? And then, is this the foundation that they are laying? When they came into office,
I'm grateful.
Bank credit that was going to government was 40. Listen to this one carefully.
I'm grateful.
Bank credit that was going to government
I'm grateful.
was 48% in 2008. You've worsened it to 80%. Is that the foundation?
Okay, I'm grateful. Kofi is here. Kofi.
let me say that
quickly.
I
Then
don't
we'll move
know.
on to the Electoral Commission.
There's some kind of deficiency in my colleague's understanding of growth. It shows that his soul is very deficient. When you have a figure 10, if you have a figure 10, and you grew by, say, let's say even 10%, that means you have added 1 to it. It has moved to 11. If in the next year you grew, it wasn't negative. Any positive is an addition. It's not a reduction. So Nana Akomea is so bankrupt in his understanding of growth that he thinks that if you grew by a certain percentage in the previous year and in the next year the percentage dropped, the percentage may drop in percentage terms, but in real terms the amount of growth may be what? More. Don't forget that the base of the economy is increasing. That is why the developed economies, growth that you record there, 1%, 0.5%, 2%, because their economy is big. So 2% of, say, $100 and something billion economy is not the same as 10% of a 5 billion economy. So you must understand that when your base gets larger, your rate of growth will necessarily also start what? Reducing, because almost all space is filled. But let's look at what has happened over the years. When we talk about foundation, you don't lay, a country, you don't lay just one foundation and that ends it. A foundation is laid in an area, it is completed. You lay new foundations to confront new challenges that are coming, to deal with them. Take telecommunication, for example. Are we not proud of what we have achieved? Of course, we started it from the NDC time under President John Dramani Mahama, Edward Salia and co. late. They worked so well. The MPP came, carried on, divested Ghana Ghana Telecom to Vodafone and so on. We have come and we have moved it further. Today, fiber optics are being laid across the country that it doesn't matter where you are, you can access internet service. A foundation was laid that has been taken to the apex level. Other areas must have foundations being laid. You take education, you can see clearly what the president is doing. You take health, the health infrastructure that is being extended. These are, I don't know whether Nana Akomea is saying that they built hospitals which the NDC came and collapsed. Ridge was not there. Today you go there and you know that you are going for proper health care. Legon was not there. Dodoa was not there. The Afari hospitals that are coming up were not there. The military hospital in Sewa was not there. Many other developments that you are seeing. We didn't have the Tamale International Airport. Today it is there. We didn't have an airstrip in Ho. Today is there. We didn't have a university in the Volta region. Today is there. We didn't have Atuabo Gas. Today Atuabo Gas is there. We didn't have the Takoradi Port expanded the way it's been expanded today. Today it is there. The president will be cutting sword for $1 billion investment in Tema Port that will turn our port to be one of the best seaports in West Africa, that will be able to receive all sizes of ships and so on and so forth. It wasn't there. Soon it will be there. Look at the road network. The re-engineered Kwame Nkrumah Circle. Was it there? It wasn't there. Today it is there. So when we are talking about laying foundation, it is not about what Nana Akomea come to sit here and say. On interest, I hear him quote all kinds of figures. You see, when he sees them, they go for some high-end risk category of, there are various risks in terms of borrowing. If a bank feels that, look, they are too much exposed by a certain customer, they will give you a higher interest rate. However, there's a low-end interest rate. The Bank of Baroda, for example, is lending at an interest rate of 15%. Standard Chartered Bank.
But that is only one bank.
I'm saying that. I'm giving you many examples. Standard Chartered Bank is lending at a rate of 18%. So where is his 35% that he's talking about? Of course, for some category of customers that they feel that they are so much exposed, they may take a higher interest. That I will not fault those banks. But what I'm saying is that when he sees them and they want to quote the low end under MPP, and when it comes to the NDC, they want to quote the higher end. But there's a low end also. They quote their low end and quote the high end for MPP. That is being disingenuous. And that type of analysis will not. On the issue of imports, You see, you will be wrong if you just go and mention that so much food is being imported. What was the levels of production? And what is the level of production today? Why is Nana Akomea shying away from mentioning the levels of rice production under MPP and the levels of rice production today? What I'm saying is that the figure has more than doubled.
Okay.
The rice production today has doubled.
But we are importing more. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, the numbers are increasing. We have to feed more mouths. It means that there is much more opportunity. But the quantities that we are producing today is double what was being produced under the MPP. That is why government is so determined to build the infrastructure network to the various farming areas so as to increase production. My last point on Cote d'Ivoire.
We're told that Aveime is down now.
Yeah, but Aveime, they collapsed Aveime completely and sold it off to some company. The MPP collapsed Aveime. They collapsed Aveime. Aveime was never allowed to see the light of day because of political witch hunting and distraction. That's why we must watch them. Like Cote d'Ivoire. I'm surprised that Nana Akomea doesn't know this. That land is a key factor in agriculture.
What do you mean?
Land in La Cote d'Ivoire is in the hands of state. So they have huge, if you go to Cote d'Ivoire and you are driving through, you drive through cocoa farms. You cannot walk. Huge plantation. So management of such farms become very easy and well controlled.
Because they belong to the state? The land belongs to the state?
The land belongs to the state. When you come to Ghana, this Ebusian have this land, they want to go and do galamsey. Another Ebusian have something, they want to go and do something else. So getting land for even huge plantations and management becomes a difficulty. That is why the president, being a visionary president, has been engaging landowners, chiefs, and other clans. And that's why in his last State of the Nation address, did you realize that he brought a chief to Parliament House and mentioned him as an example for making available, getting his community to get together huge parcel of land from various families, put it together as part of the agriculture project that government was going into, to encourage other chiefs to buy in. This is what a visionary leadership